Napoleon K. Juanillo Jr. obtained his undergraduate education from the Ateneo de Manila University in the Philippines and his MS and PhD degrees in agricultural extension from Cornell University in New York, USA. He was an assistant professor at the Nanyang Technological University in Singapore and at the College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in USA. He was twice a recipient of competitive research grants from Illinois Council for Food and Agricultural Research. Dr. Juanillo has done extensive research consulting work globally with the World Health Organization, United Nations Fund for Population Activities, UNICEF, International Service for the Acquisition of Agri-Biotech Applications, United States Department of Agriculture, Sanofi Pasteur Paris, and the Acute Respiratory Infections Vaccines Consortium with the National Institute of Public Health Finland, University of Colorado, USA, Sanofi Pasteur France, the University of Queensland School of Public Health Australia, and the United States Agency for International Development, where he served as Chief of Party. An entrepreneur, he is President and Chief Executive Officer of the AccessHealth Hospital, the AccessHealth Heart Institute, the Catheterization Laboratory, and the Institutes for Wellness and Health Innovation. He also serves as the Chairman of the Board of AccessHealth Incorporated. He is founder of the Newfield STEM Schools, offering distinct basic education program in science, technology, engineering, entrepreneurship, and mathematics from pre-kindergarten through grade 12. He is also the founder and CEO of Institutes for Research, Innovation, and Scholarship, the IRIS, a privately run R&D organization which aims to harness Philippine intellectual capital to create R&D investments through solutions-driven platforms in research and innovation. In government, Dr. Juanillo was Director for Office of Planning, Research, and Knowledge Management of Commission on Higher Education. He is currently the DTI Assistant Secretary for Competitiveness and Innovation Group.
Our viewers and listeners, let's welcome our guest for today, Dr. Nap Juanillo. Dr. Nap, maray na aga po and welcome here at One Media and Bicol AccessHealth TV.
Good afternoon, Don, and maray na hapon sa Indogabus.
Opo, Doc, it's quite impressive yung profile of Dr. Juanillo. But before we go to our topic, which is Pag Makulog, Pag Appreciarar Beneficios para sa Futuro kan mga empleyados kan Access Health. Who is Doc Nap Juanillo?
That's the most difficult question. Apart from those, I'm basically a very simple Bicolano, and I just enjoy being with my friends here whenever I'm in Naga. And also, of course, as my wife, Dr. Helen, can attest, I'm a very domesticated guy. So when she leaves me at home, she finds me at home, and that's also my lifestyle as well in Rockwell, where we live. Essentially because of the kind of work that I do, I am also based in Manila, but I just basically do my work, and so I do have my little community, our house staff, and that's basically what I do. When the buses were still running, I would just come back every weekend to Naga and leave maybe Monday night or Tuesday night, and then come back here again on Friday night. So it's a very predictable lifestyle. Nothing complicated.
Okay. Paano mo, Doc, na ma-manage yung time mo? You have a lot of schedule going here, going there, being the chairman of the board, the founder, and then now as assistant secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry.
Well, I've always been a scholar, and as an academic, That's the kind of lifestyle, and I should say schedule, that I've always
Mm-hmm.
maintained all throughout since I was a child. I
Mm-hmm.
like studying, and so up to now, I wake up around 4 o'clock in the morning, just to do some work, or just to do the kind of writing that I have to do. Like for instance, for Access Health, because of my work in the government now, which demands a lot of
Mm-hmm.
my daytime, I really have to discipline myself that I wake up at around 4, so that between 4 and let's say 7, I get to focus on some of the things that I have committed to doing for Access Health, particularly in ensuring
Mm-hmm.
quality systems, and that can take some time. So that let's say between 4 and 7:30, at least I just have the undivided focus for Access Health. But by 7:30, that's it. I'm basically in another universe.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Doc, let's talk about the Bicol Access
Hmm.
Health Centrum. It has been 11 years,
Yes.
right? Uh, did you have dreamed that the Bicol Access will be like big?
No. When my wife and I, Dr. Helen Arevalo Juanillo, thought about establishing the Access Health,
Mm-hmm.
um, we were nervous as hell as what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just like any other business, of course, we were trying to put up a big smile and a brave front. But I think deep in our hearts, we were kind of just praying along that
Mm-hmm.
things would turn out okay. Um, and gladly, happily, and with God's help, it turned out okay. But we would be lying if we were not, let's say, beset by anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, our conversations every morning and even late at night were always about propping ourselves up, that we're doing something greater than
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, and that therefore this would carry us through. And I think that's the secret to it. It's not that I'm claiming it's a success. It's not that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think what we're trying to claim is that we're thanking God that at this point we're still here.
Yeah.
And so, but the whole idea is that we stick to what we were passionate in
Mm-hmm.
setting up, and we were committed to it. We make things work in spite of some glitches and some, I must say, of course, like any other organizations, there are missteps.
Mm-hmm.
There are several times when we also doubted ourselves. But the other thing too about Access Health is that we've never really done things unilaterally.
Mm-hmm.
There's a board of directors, and whenever we have a meeting with the board of directors, we make sure that everything is consultative, everything is
Mm-hmm.
participatory. And our board of directors, I think, are great souls, great people, in the sense that whatever feedback that they get from the ground, they raise it to us, and
Mm-hmm.
we talk about it as openly as we can. Of course, there are debates, but there's never like rancorous
Mm-hmm.
debates or angry debates.
Yeah.
Debates are good, the discourses
Mm-hmm.
are good, the conversations are great, but it's never about one of us, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, leaving the
Mm-hmm.
conversation room feeling
Mm-hmm.
bad. It's
Yeah.
never about that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think because I try to make sure that everything is conducted with a sense of humor and some lightheartedness, that's just exactly how we tackle things. And so I think that part of it, the humor, the
Mm-hmm.
lightheartedness,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that we can't really do it all type of mindset,
Mm-hmm.
is the thing that allows us to get by day by day, month by month,
Mm-hmm.
in Access Health.
Doc, what were the challenges that you've met? Uh, here at the Bicol Access, especially it's already 11 years. Do you still have challenges?
Well, the main challenge, of course, like any other healthcare facility in the Philippines, is manpower or
Mm-hmm.
the human resources.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that is exactly what brings us to this conversation today. You know, because the doctors, there will always be doctors.
Mm-hmm.
The equipment and the technological advances in healthcare, they're just there. And if
Mm-hmm.
you want, if one has the money, you can always buy the equipment.
Yeah.
But it's very, very difficult to, I should say, retain the loyalty and the passion and the enthusiasm of your staff.
Mm-hmm.
And we consider our staff as family.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and they're young, you know, um, and one cannot deprive them of their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
They dream for their families too, you know, for their girlfriends and their boyfriends,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, for and their significant others. You cannot deprive them of
Mm-hmm.
those. So, and then of course they also want to be, I should say, very successful people
Mm-hmm.
in the future. And so the biggest challenge is that how can we possibly get them to stay while at the same time being part of their dreams in the future.
Yes, Doc.
So
Tama yan po. Mm-hmm.
that's the challenge.
Yes, kasi po Doc, alam naman po natin na usually yung mga nasa healthcare, they go abroad
Yep.
because the benefits there are much better than here in the Philippines.
Right.
So, sa Bicol Access, paano natin sila na sasabi na, oh, you just stay here with us na lang.
You know what? We're not we're very realistic about this. Let's say in a population of about 200 to 250
Mhm.
employees, realistically speaking, you can just say that without intervention, you may be able to retain about 15% of them.
Mhm.
But I think we should do better than retaining 15%. And so if we can retain
Mhm.
maybe 30 to 40% of them, that would be good.
Mhm.
But the question is, what kind of interventions do we need
Mhm.
to retain them?
Yeah.
And so that's those are the challenges that we needed to answer for.
Okay, Doctor, as we saying about the benefits, so what's our plan
Yeah.
when it comes to our employees?
Okay. I think let me put in context again the question.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is basically retaining human
Yeah.
capital and ensuring that we get to be part of their dreams for the
Mm-hmm.
future. Because you know, there's a lot of external factors competing for the hearts and minds of our employees. You know, I heard that Germany, for instance, and the UK combined are recruiting over 200,000 nurses. How can you possibly compete with that kind of attraction?
Yeah.
You know, so and that has always been the problem anyway of the Philippines. So it's not just about access health facing that particular human resource challenge. So I think the best way for us is to come up with step by step ways to kind of tell our talents in access health as well as talents perhaps in other parts of Bicol that these things can be done. You know that there are other ways by which we can solve this, perhaps not entirely, but step by step. So in Access Health, we came up with an innovation. We call it a more comprehensive compensation package for our employees. The first intervention is providing them with a provident fund. The employees' provident fund is such that and this is voluntary. The provident fund is voluntary in the sense that if they contribute, let's say a maximum of 500 pesos a month, at retirement age, you know, we basically double that amount. So if it's 500 pesos a month, times 12, which is 12 months.
6,000.
So they have 6,000 every year. And if they stay on for another 20 years, they would have accumulated 120,000 pesos.
Yes.
Upon retirement, on the 20th year, we basically give them a peso for peso equivalent of the 120,000. So they will
So
have
it will be
240,000. So that's tax free and that's basically given to them in a lump sum. That's the Provident Fund. The other one is the retirement fund. The retirement fund is basically what any uh, private company or the government does, which is your latest monthly salary times the number of years that you have served the company at the time of retirement, and that's what you would get lump sum, but we will not tax it, you know, so we will shoulder the taxes. And I think that's what differentiates us from all the other retirement funds because it's singularly just for the employee. Then the third one is that in a way to get the employees believe that they really are part of the company, we're gonna give them redeemable shares, equivalent to about 300 shares, at the age of retirement. So if you take a look at par value of Access Health shares in 2021, it stands at 3,500 per share, which started, by the way, Dawn, at 1,000. So in 11 years, from 1,000 per share to now at 3,500 shares, that's really kind of substantive, considering that we did not start like this. We started in small bits and pieces of clinics. So you can just imagine what would be the par value, let's say, 15 to 20 years from now. Hypothetically, you can basically estimate that to be maybe around 10,000 or 11,000.
Sure.
So if it's, let's say, 10,000 par value per share, that's basically about 3 million,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And staff can redeem that. So it's 3 million right away upon retirement,
So how do
and that's
they
tax free.
how can they avail that though?
No, they can avail of that as long as they have met the minimum number of years in Access Health, and that is something that is still gonna be talked about by the lawyers and by the admin. Last week the board of directors approved in principle all of these benefits. You know, but you know how it is. It's just like a bill in the Senate. You know, it's the implementing rules and regulations
Yeah,
that would basically put shape
yeah.
and texture to the whole principle. But having said that, already we are assuring the staff that by actually providing them a sense of ownership to the company, it's almost like that's practically the kind of equivalent money that you would get if you are, let's say, working in London or in Germany. It's a different story, of course, if you have migrated to Germany or to Canada, but to just work, that's a different story. But having said that, for those of the employees who really want to live in the Philippines
With the family.
and at the same time have that kind of balance between working here and having a good future, I think those interventions are fantastic.
Yeah.
And I don't know of any other company too that would do that. You know, this concept, to begin with, of the Employees Provident Fund is patterned after Singapore, where I worked there for a while, and so I know how it works. It's also patterned in a sense from our Provident Fund at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. So when you were reading my bio, it's not as if those are just like bios. Those are also
Yeah.
like the springboards for some of these ideas that I have and had agreed on with the board about how best to come up with employee-friendly interventions so that they stay. you
Oh,
know.
yes, Doc. Especially right now, it's pandemic, and yet
Uh-huh.
the Bicol Access is thinking about the welfare of the employees, Doc.
Yeah, well, I think that's the best way to think about the employees
Mm-hmm.
in the time of crisis, that we're actually thinking about them. You know, it I don't know. There's a little part craziness too on the part of the board of directors and the owners. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think part of leadership is craziness. And so when you do have a crazy leader leading some crazy board of directors and saying yes to this, I think it makes for good, fun business. But okay. But all I'm trying to say is that this is not to anyone's credit. This is
Mm-hmm.
to the credit of a body, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the board of directors who unanimously said yes to this. And you know what? You're talking about pandemic. They never really raised the whole context of pandemic when we were thinking
Discussing the
yeah, when
matter.
we were discussing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. So when be starting, Doc?
The effectivity, it's effective since last week.
Ah, okay.
And so the Chief Operating Officer, Eric Juanillo,
Mm-hmm.
will be working hand in hand with our legal counsel,
Mm-hmm.
as well as with our finance office in figuring out, you know, the most practicable ways of doing it. But you know what? In the end, Don, you're talking about
Yeah.
10 to 15 years down the road. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so we still have a chance to kind of configure our finances for that, you know.
Okay. Mga tugang, sa samuya pong pagbabalik, abangan ang iba pang mga topic na samuyang pag-ulayan. Digdi po sa Bicol Access Health TV. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Do you experience gasping for air or extreme and persistent snoring during the night, and it affects your daytime performance due to extreme fatigue, headache, and excessive sleepiness? You might be dealing with obstructive sleep apnea. Stop the repeating interruption during your sleep and avoid further complications with our compact, lightweight, and easy-to-use home sleep testing device capable of recording your respiratory effort, pulse oxygen saturation, and nasal flow of the body. Schedule your appointment and contact our main reception at 884-1861 or 871-3377 or 0919-910-2241 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Visit the Access Health ENT Center now.
Yan. Doc Nap, balikan na lang po. Ano pa yung mga looking forward for the future of Bicol Access Health?
Siguro, bunya na naaraman nindo po na posible man pala ng sarong healthcare facility or sarong hospital na mag-appreciar, as in ano to, mag-isip tungkol sa futuro kan sa indong mga aki, kan sa indong mga nephews and nieces, kung sindaman nurse, medtech, radtech, or engineer, or ano pa man ang tinapusan na that it's possible to think, or it's possible to conceive of a company that can really demonstrate care for your children and for the local talents. Yun po ang gusto ming ipaabot man digdi sa kuya na ini, sa forum na ini. And so to all the nurses out there, to all the medtechs, to all the radtechs, and all the other local talents who are possibly thinking of going abroad or going someplace else because the grass is greener at the other side. Come to think about it, that some of the things na kunya nadadaog nindo, pwede man pala nindong pag-isipan na pwede man mangyari, and that it really just takes a little bit more of a willfulness on the part of, let's say, the management to make things happen for the employees. Um, Di po kami nagsusuba sa pagsabi na, we will be rewarding our employees, at least based on the number of years that they have been here, with redeemable shares at Access Health. Di po kami nagsusuba that we will come up with a Provident Fund that matches their savings peso for peso. And that we will actually also come up with a retirement scheme that basically rewards them with a fund that's equivalent to their last monthly salary times the number of years that they have been here, and that it's gonna be tax free. All of these above other types of ancillary benefits that we offer. Like Don, we have educational benefits for them, for those who want to continue their studies. We have salary loan benefits for calamities and for the education of children or for bereavement, among other things. Like we have the best Christmas parties in Naga and the best food during Christmas parties, and, and among other things that come with the benefit of being in Access Health. Now, of course, all I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, it's still your choice. But just come to think about it, that one can no longer just come up with a very monopolistic view of employers as being this,
Yeah.
and that employers can actually you know have a different shape and form in the 21st century. That's all I'm trying to say. We can come up with all of these innovations too. The other thing too that I'd like to say is that yes, we've been here 11 years, and this I can say. What you see now is not what Access Health will be 11 years from now. I can tell you that, Don.
So marami pa Doc na mangyayari.
Oh yeah. I can honestly tell you that. And I say that from the vantage point of being a government official as well, who kind of have an appreciation of the landscape of the Philippine economy a few years from now. And it's gonna be quite promising. As they say, there is no other way for the Philippines but up. And so as the Philippines goes up, I think everybody should go up. As they say, all boats rise
So
with
this
the
is
tide.
what you call the new normal, Doc.
That's the new normal. Actually, the new normal is getting all the boats to rise up. And you know what? If you don't start with that kind of vision, then nothing happens. You have to start with a very bold vision. Because otherwise, absent of a boldness, then you just really make do with whatever little vision you have. And wala. If you set the bar too low, then that's it. The bar will remain too low. But we're willing to make the bar high. We're gonna raise the bar higher.
As the Assistant Secretary, Doc, of the Department of Trade and Industry, kumusta man ano yung nakikita mo in the future since now we have a pandemic, still pandemic, and
you know what, the good thing about living in this century, it's because it's no longer the past.
Yeah.
And the good thing about the here and now is that it's really the battle of the minds, So it's no longer about kadtubaga, uy, madagaon ngayon si Sir XYZ, mayamanon siguro ngayon ta, dakulon daga. No? Uy, siguro ngayon, mayamanon si kwenta, kadakulon gasolinahan. No? Or kadakulon hardware. Or kadakulon arcade. It's no longer that, It's that the 21st century is the battle of the minds. So the more brilliant you are with new ideas, with innovations that can move, the better. They say that the kingdoms of the of this century is the kingdom of the mind. And that's exactly what I'm also trying to emphasize to our family members here. That this is the 21st century. This is the century of innovations. This is a century of solutions. So the more solutions that you can think of, activate those solutions, develop those solutions, execute them, find funders for those solutions, the better you are.
So it will not be hard.
Nope.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, Doc, we have a guest today. We have several guests here. You know,
Are they from AccessHealth?
yeah, employees of the Access Health. We're going to ask them ano man gusto na mamatian ninda regarding kang pag-uulayan ta. Siguro inutong ka na si Sir Joel Villamor. Yan, this is Sir Joel.
Good morning po, Doc. Good morning, Sir Don.
Opo, Sir Joel, irang taong ka na po nagtrabaho dito sa... Ay, isay mo na si Joel Villamor.
Ako po si Joel Villamor. Ako po ang general service. Bali nagpuon po ako sa maintenance. Din mo dyan pong nasa head na po kang general service.
How long you been here po?
Ano na po ko, nasa magti 10 years na po sa November.
Magi 10 years ka na. So, dahil ka man mahaloy kayan kung dahil mo padangat ang Bicol Access. Ano ito yung pinaka reason why na padangat mo ang Bicol Access for the long 10 years you're staying here?
Ayun po. Bali po bigla nga si Doc Subago na araw kan. Nagigirom naman ako kang pagpun ko pa sa Bicol Access. Sabi ko, dahil man ko mahaloy na araw kan kundi ko maugma sa trabaho. And kahit ito po kaya, may mga, siyempre, pagpun ko sa trabaho, may mga hapot man ko sa sarili ko na, mahaloy ako di sa ini. Tapos iniisip ko man na, kung mag-5 taon nga ako, ano man kaya ako sa loob ng 5 taon. Ngunyan po, nasa na ako, 9 years, mag 10 years. Si mga kaputan ko po, nahiling ko na sa sinasabi ni Doc na araw katong may mga benefits nga ning kaya.
So, anong
Pero
reaction mo po? Kanaraman mo ito yung mga pigsarabi ni Doc?
Bali sabi ko po nga ning pagpun ko, maugma ako. Ngunyan, sa ko pa, mas lalo pang maugma na nadango kong itong sabi niya.
And ano ang mensahe na may tatao mo sa yung mga viewers and then kay Doc, syempre.
Sa mga kaibahan ko sa Bicol Access Empleyado, magayon ning opportunity na makwenta. Kidok man, salamat Dok sa araw kayong pong offer na sa mga empleyado. And sa iling ko po nga ako lang talagang may mababa ko sa mga may okay na kuyan. Ini po nabasa ko po naman sa kuyan, itong may magkakaigwa ka ng share sa pag nagka 15 years. Na di ko maisip na sa walang empleyado, makakabali ka sa kumpanya na araw ka yan.
So excited ka na?
Excited.
So, diba,
Bali, ba, sir, nasa
sige.
6 years pa. Pero, kung sa nahiling mo na siya, sabi, madali nang maabot. Madali na siyang maabot.
Gara gusto mo na pagmata mo saga, tapos pag 15 years ka na, para may share ka na,
Oo, ang iniisip ko nga ni sir, baka nagdadalan si Mrs. Pag nadalan ni Mrs., dagdagan na sa allowance ko.
Doc, any reaction from Joel's statement?
Marami man yan. Talagang iyon man talaga yan su intention na bako man lang yan para kay Joel, kundi para sa pamilya niya. Kasi ang Access Health man, sa ngunyan, then you can take a look at kung piraman sindang ngunyan na full-time sa muya. We don't take a look at them as just individual employees. We do see that behind every employee is a family, and so that's the extended family of Access Health.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, very good, Sir Joel. We have Ma'am Rachel Beltran. Hi, Ma'am Rachel.
Hello po, good afternoon. Good
Welcome
afternoon,
po.
Doc. Good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am, nailing mo sa diri mo na magtrabaho digdig sa AccessHealth hanggang sa pagretiro mo po.
Yes po. Mula po nung inano po yun ni Doc yung itong mga benefits na to, so far talagang mapapaisip ka po talaga kung mahalik ka o dai. Ako po kasi sa pharmacy po ako, pharmacist. Kung iisipon po, marami pa pong mas better opportunity sa luwas. Pero since nagpuon po ako digdi, namatay ko man po ang kaigihan po kang management. Naisipan pa nindang i-push through pa po ining mga benepisyo na ini na talagang mahirap lalo po sa status po. Pero ayun po, ako po sa akin po, sa opinion ko po, ang sa diri ko parang naano ko na po, nahihiling ko na dito na ako ma-retire. As long as happy ako, maano po ang mga kairibahan. Yun po.
What makes you happy this Bicol Access?
Yun po, nauugma ako kasi yung mga
Aside from gwapo si Doc.
si Doc talagang
Auto pa si Doc
Hindi.
Helen.
Maano lang po kasi sa ibang kung iisipin po sa ibang company po,
Oo.
napaka-difficile pong makaharap po ang pinakamataas po na
Officer. Yeah.
Doc Nap is very very approachable po, Doc Helen. Tsaka po yung iba pong miyembro po ng board po, napaka po nila talagang hindi po tulad sa iba po
Doctor.
na maano ka po yung maiilang ka na i-approach mo po sila kasi nasa taas po sila eh. Pero sila po yung bumababa para po sa mga empleyado. Yun lang po.
You've been here for
Magsi 6 years na po ako.
6 years.
Oo. So far kaya binibilang-bilang ko na lang din. Konti na lang.
That's good. How about,
Sige po.
thank you, Ma'am Rachel. Si Miss May Mirilos.
Hello
Hi,
po.
ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
So, ikaw po, you've been here for
10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
So, kasarabi ka mo na Sir
Sir
Joel.
Joel. Apo.
Oo, kasarabay ko sila Sir Joel. 10 years, masakit mag-stay sa company ning 10 years. So, nag-stay ako para sa company kasi ang benefits na nakuko ami, permanent na itatao kang company sa muya. Tinitreat kami fairly kang company.
So, sa pagmati mo po, iyon na niyo ang ang company na until pag-retire mo. Yeah.
Iyo. Kasi masakit magpara lipat-lipat ng company. Masakit makiiba sa mga katrabaho. Sa company mismo, masakit makiiba. Kaya sa iling ko, hindi na ako ma-retire. Kasi nag 10 years na ako. So kaipuan kong siguro ma-extend pa ako nagugustuhan ko ang company.
Opo, Doc, any reaction from them? For them?
Yeah, well, bako man sa, it's about them staying on for 10
Yeah, yeah.
years. We're very happy and also thankful that they stayed on for 10 years. And we're looking forward to the next 10 to 15 years. Yeah.
Okay. So, Sir Rene, yan din po, Sir Rene. Hi, Sir Rene.
Good afternoon po, Doc Nap and sir.
Opo, anong department ka po?
Sa utility po, ako ning supervisor po.
Okay. So, you've been here for also
7 years na po.
7 years.
Opo.
So, sa hiling mo, ano po ang magiging epekto kayo yung mga benepisyo para sa inyo po?
Ang magiging epekto po nito sa akin,
Sarong
sir, bilang empleyado, ang benepisyo po sa almost 7 years po, nagpapasalamat po ako sa Bicol Access na araw po ka na ang opportunity ninda sa mga empleyado digdi yung dahil kahit may may pandemic na ito po ninda sa mga empleyado po. Sana po nga gusto ko na po maging 15 years digdi sa Bicol Access. Yun man lang po yan, sir. Nagpapasalamat lang po ako sa mga benepisyo kang tinatawag ang Bicol Access. Sana magkalay pa man po ako digdiyo. Salamat lang po.
May family ka na po?
Ikaw na po, tabi, sir.
Pira po?
Dua po. Ang
Duha
aki po.
family?
Dua po ang aki.
Duha aki. So sa pagmati mo, dakulang tabang na maray sa pamilya mo ini.
Dako lang tabang po sa kuyang pamilya, lalong-lalo na po sa dua kong aki, saka po sa kuyang agom.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Rene.
Salamat po.
We have also here Ma'am Annalisa Borja. Ma'am, maray na aldaw po.
Hello po, good afternoon, sir. So, I'm Annalisa Borja, accounting supervisor.
Opo. So you've been here for
Almost 9 years po.
9 years na din.
Yes po.
So first nung employed mo digdig po, ano po si primerong impression mo sa Bicol Access?
Dati, ambulatory lang po ang Bicol Access. So, di ko po ma-imagine na madakula ang Bicol Access, magiging arog po siya kani, magiging hospital. And dati nga ni po, hesitant pa nga ni ang Access na i-push through ninda ang magiging hospital. Pero yan, sa tabang kang management, kang mga nasa likod kang Bicol Access na i-push through ninda na maging hospital po ini para matabangan ta po ang mga pasyente na nag-aasa po sa tuya.
Yan po.
Opo, sa laog po kang pirang taon na iyan, ano si itong memorable na di mo malilingawan?
Si mga boss ko po, si mga bosses, sinda po ang nagtabang sa ko kung ako, kung ano na po ako ngunyan as accounting supervisor. Dati po, nag-start lang po ako as cashier. And then, later on na tigtukdaan ninda ako kung paano si nagiging flow sa back office. Yan. Naitaw sa ko si posisyon na yaon sa kungunyan.
Ini po mga benepisyong iniyo na pig-ulayan mini Doc Nap. Ano po ang sailing mo magiging epekto kay ni sa imo and sa family mo po?
Naugma akong maray kasi nagkaigwaning arog ka ini yung mga benepisyo ang management. Pig-workout ninda na maitaw ini sa mga empleyado na talagang nahihiling man ninda na mahaloy digdi sa access. Parang ako, secured na ako sa magiging future ko or by the time na mag-retire ako, parang secured na ako and ang family ko. Di na sinda ma-worry kung halimbawa, di ko hinahagad pero malayta po baga ano. Opo. At least igwa na akong may mga kuanan ako, di na ako maasa sa family ko, sa mga aki ko na magad akong pangbulong, mga aragan. Igwa na ako kaya yan. Yan.
And ano po ang message mo kay Dr. Nap and sa bilog na board?
Kay Doc Nap po and sa management, dako lang pasasalamat po talaga na nagigibo po kamo ning mga aroganing program, mga benefits po sa mga empleyado. Kasi aramtaman po na kadakol nagahali kasi mas nahiling po siguro ni Arken abroad na dakula ang kikitaon ninda. Pero si AccessHealth kayang makisabayan na maitaw ito, na di ka na mahali, di mo nababayan ang family mo. Yan po. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doc, what do you feel right now?
What
do you feel right now na ang mga statement kan sa tuyang mga guest kunyan sa pagmati ko overwhelming? No,
yeah, it's overwhelming and also thankful. But you know what, Don? It's really not for me to feel thankful. You know, because this is not just my idea. You know, as I've said, it's a collective idea. So we will relay their thanks to all the other members of the board. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we have also here Sir Daniel Del Prado. Sir, among the 3 benefits, ano po naman sa pagmati mo si itong pinaka looking forward mo? Si ito yung Provident Fund, Retirement Fund, and then the shares, company shares. Ano naman sa pinaka ano?
Yung company share, sir.
Why po?
Malapit-lapit na ako sa finish line, sir eh. Madali na. Yes, sir. 11 years. Oh.
Okay. So, ano sa itong mga challenges na na-met mo? Digdiyo sa Bicol Access when you're just starting and then ngunyan, pirang years na?
Dakol, sir. May mga certain problem. Pero kayang overcome kasi tabang-tabang kami digdi. You know, tapos nagpapasalamat din ako sa company kasi may mga tinatawag silang benefits na Like sa Muya, nagpatour pa ninda kami sa abroad. 2014, yung mga pioneer. So, hindi ko pa sila mapasalamatan. Ngunyan lang siguro it's time na nagayugang time, TV pa.
Okay. So ano
Okay.
ang gusto mo ipabot kay Doc Nap and the board na message po?
Nasabi naman kay Bahog ang gabos para sa kuya, stay healthy na lang. Parehas na kita nagugurang Pagurang na rin ako sa access. Stay healthy.
Okay.
More power.
Thank you, Sir Dan. Doc, we have also Sir Irvin here. Sir Irvin, good afternoon. You've been here for how many
Sir,
years?
good afternoon po. 10 years na po ako sa
10
Bicol
years.
Access po.
I remember saro ka sa mga naging guest ko na din, di ba?
Yes po.
Sa ano yan,
Opo,
sa
opo.
Nagakali, sa Station
Yes
Studio.
po.
So ano po sa hiling mo pwede pang may dagdag na benepisyo or incentives para sa mga empleyado sa maabot na panahon since you're already serving 10 years na idea?
Sa hiling ko lang po regarding po dyan, kung pwede sana pong dagdagan pa ang leave.
Ang leave.
Yan po.
Okay.
Yan pong sick leave and vacation leave kung po pwede po.
Para
Um,
gulpin time sa girlfriend.
po, wala nga sir eh.
Okay.
And taano po itong napili ko,
Aha.
lalo na po ngunyan. Sa part po kaya ngunyan po, lalo nang nagkukulang po ang mga nurses po sa ngunyan. So, naisip ko lang po kung idagdag ko sana po kung pwede yung madagdagan yung leave pero sana yung vacation leave gawin na din pong parang sick leave na pwede pong i-convert to cash. Kasi po demi po kaya nagagamit yung sick leave ay yung vacation leave kasi po dahil sa nag-augment ka pa din sa kakulangan ng staff po. So parang ang vacation leave po kasi day na ko-convert into cash. So then mo din siya magagamit next year kasi kailangan mo
You need to
magamit ngayon po.
consume it.
Yes po. Kay po i-consume po. So masakitan po kaya man yan.
Opo, Doc, what's our plan about
Well,
the request?
that's a reasonable request. Ang talaga naman policy kan mga governments is to convert your vacation leaves into cash or your sick leaves into
Yes, po.
cash. Even in government, they do that. But if you just follow the law, kasi it's always 15-15, you know. So maybe we cannot go beyond the 15, both for vacation leave and for sick leave, but monetizing the leaves is a possibility because it's done everywhere.
Okay po, Doc. Thank you.
Okay. We have also Sir Mark Joseph. Sir,
Good afternoon, Kuya Don.
you've
Doc
been
Nap,
here for
9 years.
9 years also.
Yes.
And what makes you stay
Ah,
here
what makes
sa Bicol Access?
sa mga katrabaho po, tapos sa management na din. Sa hiling ko po yan sa benepisyo po, sana po ma-expand man po itong sa family. Bako lang po sa first family sa mother or father, pwede man po siguro na yan ang tugang. Sa ngunyan po kaya ang benefits po kan sarong employee sa relative is mother and father lang covered katong discounts. Sana man po ito man po sa tugang. Yan po. Tapos sa incentives man po, nahiling ko man po na sana idagdag. Pag 10 years man po, sana po times 2 man or depende po sa inda or madagdagan man po kasi difficile man po talaga mag-abot sa 10 years.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you, Sir Mark Joseph. Doc,
What's the question again?
first, ma-extend yung medical, yung discount yung siguro or benefits ng employees, not just to father and mother but sa siblings, especially yung mga brother and sisters po. And then secondly, itong incentives for Mga 10 years na daw, Doc. So what's your reaction po?
That's something that we have
The
to
board
discuss.
will discuss it. Okay. So rest assured that the board will discuss it. Okay.
No guarantees yet, but it will
But
be
it will be
discussed.
discussed. Okay. So just hold on. Okay. We have also Sir RV. Ay, ma'am. Sorry. Miss RV, Elijah. Do that.
Hello po, good
Hello
afternoon po. Ay,
You've been here for
I've been here for almost 9 years po,
9
sir.
years
Yes
also po.
po.
So, kumusta po ang pag-stay mo dito sa Bicol Access?
So far, it's going well. It's been great as staying here at Access Health po.
Opo. You're, single or ano?
Single.
Opo. So, how do you manage your time po?
Yun nga, since single po, so I own my time. So kahit po, let's say, mag-extend, knowing na just like this times during the pandemic, every time na po na need pumunta dito sa Bicol Access, since wala naman po akong family na kailangan kong accommodate after duty hours or ano. So I have all my time para pumunta dito sa Bicol Access para mag-extend ng oras.
So, mayong in a relationship.
In a relationship.
In a relationship. So, still na-manage din yung time sa Bicol Access and then sa
Very
Bicol.
supportive naman.
That's good. My question, ma'am, is paano mo i-recommend ang Bicol Access? Since na daw mo sa mga benefits mo niyan, sa mga friends mo with same professions, sure po.
Yeah, just like what I've said earlier, I've been here for almost 9 years. So I have also seen how Access Health has grown into one of the most renowned private healthcare institution dito sa Bicol region. So with its state-of-the-art facilities, Access Health provides great opportunities, especially sa mga nasa medical field. So para ma-enhance po nila ang kanilang knowledge and skills. Also, Access Health also sees the needs and also appreciates the hard work of every employee. So, gaya nga ng diniscuss natin ngayon, may mga benefits na naiisip ang Access Health. Actually, almost every year, may mga bagong benefits po na napapa-implement ang Bicol Access. Also, I would like to share din, just last year, na before the pandemic, nag-increase po talaga ang sahod namin, especially yung mga nurses, na it ranges nga, sabi ko nga last time, it ranges from the salary of a private hospital to a government hospital. So very competitive na talaga po ang sahod ng mga empleyado dito sa Bicol Access. So it's great on our part. We appreciate it as employees na at least nakikita ng Bicol Access kung anong kailangan namin as their staff, as their employees. So they treat us as family.
Na i-recommend ang Bicol Access na mag-work dito?
No, I will not be ashamed of recommending Bicol Access Health Centrum. So I will recommend Bicol Access Health Centrum 100% sa mga gustong mag-apply.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank
Let's
you.
move on with Ma'am Catherine. Hi, Ma'am Kat.
Hello po, good afternoon, sir.
Closer. Hi, Ma'am Kat. Cathy.
Yes, sir, good
So
afternoon.
you've been here for
I've been here po since 5 years, going
5
to 6 years po.
going strong.
Yes po. Yes, going
Para
strong.
relationship,
With
Opo.
child po.
Paano mo i-recommend po ang Bicol Access since na may mga bagong mga benepisyo and then
Okay, sir.
the-
Since,
ano yan?
okay po. Since since I work in abroad for 10 years, 10 years po ako gala ko sa Saudi. Then I discover Bicol Access po since 2014. Then I applied 2015 na-hire po ako. Then ang first impression ko sa Bicol Access, parang magtatagal kaya ako dito? Sabi ko, magtatagal kaya ako kasi since I'm looking again na mag-work abroad. From then, yung habang tumatagal po, na-discover ko naman na very accommodating yung mga ang kagandahan lang po sa Bicol Access, very accommodating yung mga staff, approachable, and saka yung, sabi nga ni Ma'am RV, very accommodating din yung board, lalo na yung CEO namin. Napaka-approachable, madaling lapitan in case you have any problem or any concern. Saka as a nurse, mai-recommend ko ang Bicol Access. Kasi from now, madaming competitors ang hospital natin, di ba? Like what BMC is offering. Pero sa akin, sir, para sa akin, looking forward, i-recommend ko ang Bicol Access sa mga tao or staff, any profession na hindi na mag-abroad. Kasi we are may assurance na po na ang staff by the end of 60 years or after, may makukuha din pala kami. Not only for the government, but we are thankful na in this situation, private hospital is offering for the employees. And we are grateful po.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am
Yes, sir.
Cathy.
Thank you po.
Talaga, Doc, before we move on with the next question, if you have questions po, you can raise it later after our forum. Doc, talagang very thankful talaga ang mga employees dito sa Bicol Access kasi if you work in government, may pension ka din naman through GSIS. Pag mga private, SSS lang. Pero with these benefits, talagang baka at kayo maglilipat na igdi, how will you accommodate? Ito yung mga marilipat igdi. How will you accommodate that, Doc?
Well, there is a process naman for screening talents or applicants. They will still have to go through that. But sometimes, sabi nga ni Linda, you can always get by with the screening process, but the longevity, is something else. And the longevity is something that it works both ways. It has to be on the part of the employee and of course on the part of the employer. So we're basically filling up our own side of the equation, and so it's really up to the employee to respond to the offer.
Okay. Pero you're ready, Doc, Baka pag napanood nila to, maglipatan na dito.
Yeah, pero kasarog mo niya, nagre-recruit kami ng talents dito sa AccessHealth Studio. May kami ng mga artista.
Ay, wow! Guys, so ma-apply na kita kay Doc. Baka man, Doc, baka man artista, host lang. Anyway, Doc, let's move on. We have Ma'am Rowena.
Yes, sir. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Ma'am.
Good afternoon po.
Good day po. You've been here for
Almost 6 years po.
6 years.
Magsa-7 na
And
pala.
under what department po?
OPD department. Outpatient department.
Outpatient.
Yes po, sir.
So, kumusta man po ang... you're nurse also?
Yes
You're
po,
nurse.
registered nurse po.
Sa iba-iba ka mga doc ning mga... Lalo na sa mga government hospital, perming garo aburido ang mga nurses. Igdi sa Bicol Access, may iling mo, perming nakangirit. Diba?
That's right.
Saro pa
Yes,
po,
pa.
may mga benepisyo kita ning nadangog mo dyan na pig-offer ang Bicol Access. So, ikaw po as a nurse, ano man ang commitment mo? Kasi usually baga, anong may gibo kang company sa tuya? So,
So,
kung ano man ang
mga
commitment
gigibo?
sa company, di ba?
Yes po. Sa 6 years kong pag-stay digdi sa Bicol Access, nakita ko naman yung mga changes and mga improvements when it comes to benefits. So, we have nagkaroon nga tayo ng increase sa salary, and recently nagkaroon din tayo ng hazard pay, and yung mga benefits din sa family, mga discounts, ganon. So, as an employee, siguro yung part ko is maging gawin ko yung part ko by giving my best effort, and to continue to support the Bicol Access when it comes to its mission and goals.
So, yun lang.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Rowena, Ma'am Weng. How about Ma'am Rodeline?
Good afternoon, sir.
You've been here for?
Magti-10 years na po.
Magti-10 years na din po.
Apa.
So, kumusta man po ang magti-10 years na sa Bicol Access?
Okay lang po. So, actually po dito po sa mga benefits na bago ng Access Health, hindi pa man po siya nagkakaroon, na-implement. meron na po silang mga ano po, ginibong mga sabi nga ni Ma'am Rowena, may mga benefits na rin po kaming ano, natanggap. Actually po, yung mga bagong pong benefits na 'yan, eh, malaking tulong na po sa amin at saka kaugmahan po talaga sa isang empleyado lalo na sa aming mga matagal na. Kumbaga, ang makukumit lang namin kasi sir sa Access Health is mapabuti pa yung trabaho namin. Kasi nga, yung binigay na mga benefits ni Access, hindi lang para sa amin, kundi para na rin sa pamilya namin. Kung kumbaga, kung hindi man kami umabot retirement, secured naman po yung family namin bukod sa amin.
Okay,
Yun lang po.
thank you, ma'am. So, may mga question po kamo na in mind na would like to ask Doc Nap. Anyone po? Since na yan man si Doc Nap, let us not, ano yan, don't hesitate to ask question. Doc, any
Well,
message?
yeah. Well, thank you, Don, and thank you also to our long-standing staff, um, members of the Access Health family, for the appreciation. And I think this is exactly what we want to happen. You know, we embarked on this journey together, and we'll try to make it as comfortable as possible to all the others and to everybody who wish to be part of the journey. As I've said, you know, we're trying to fill up part of the equation, and I'm glad that, you know, they're also stepping up to plate in terms of assuring us of loyalty, of staying here and then giving their best, you know. And so that means a lot to Access Health. So, but you know, sabi nga ni Inda kay Don, I'm basically preaching to the converted. And so, if I may address to anybody who's has a chance to watch this, to all the parents out there, you know, and if your child is thinking of joining Access Health, please relate to them what you've heard, and that we are a caring company, and we will not stop here. This is not yet the defining moment of Access Health. The best is yet to come for Access Health. And I just cannot tell you exactly what's going on in the background, in the behind the scenes, but there's a lot of things happening right now in terms of our plans for Access Health in the future. Are we going to be in the same area 5 years from now? The answer to that is, well, it's always good to be here and at the same time be elsewhere. So, you know, my mantra is never subtract, just
Just
add.
add.
So, yes, we're going to be here still, but we will also be looking at other sites, bigger and better sites for Access Health, because we want to be build back better.
That's
Uh,
good.
so that's the idea. So, Don, I assure you, um, napakalikot ng isip ng Board of Directors ng Access Health. And we're very, very aggressive. And, you know, we started dreaming about Access Health when we were like 45 years old. You know that?
You're just 46, right?
I'm just 47.
I'm 47.
No, we started dreaming about Access Health when we were about
Yeah.
that age.
Uh-huh.
So you can just imagine that it's the same kind of enthusiasm and energy that we're putting in for the future of Access Health. And even better, because we know a lot more. Our network is wider
Much
now.
bigger.
And it's not just a local network; it's also an international network. And so we're very, very excited. I'm excited.
Us too, sir. Thank you, Doc Nap, for your time. Matugang natapos na naman po ang sarong episode ng sa tuyang programa dito sa Bicol AccessHealth TV, sa One Media TV 48 Naga, kaya ba na po sa Idol FM 105.5. And Sa mga nag-atabay sa tuya, lalo-lalo na nasa health industry, ano po, so bago nagsabi si Doc Nap na they're looking for talents, si mga nurses, medtech, radtech, and itong mga pwede ma-accommodate. It's an opportunity kasi ini po ang company na nag-o-offer na mga benepisyo para sa mga empleyado na talagang day mo hahabuan. So, ano pang hinahalat nindo? If you have the qualification and then characteristic na sa pagiging member ng Bicol AccessHealth, don't hesitate to visit igdi po sa Bicol AccessHealth Centrum. Sa mga nag-aantabay po sa tuya, bango sana ang mga empleyado ang pigtatawanan ng care. Ang mga empleyado nga ni tigatawan ni care, how much more so ito yung mga pasyente and mga nag-iigdi, mga nagtatangkilik sa Bicol Access Health Centrum. So, sarong episode na pano ning kinapurutan niya to ning adal na syertong dadarahon niya to pag-abot sa paggurang niya to. And masabi ta, lalo-lalo na ang mga empleyado kang Bicol Access Health Centrum na iyo ini ang tamang pigdumanan kasi pigtrabahohan ta. Matugang, sa pangarap po kang bilog na pwersa kang One Media TV 48 Naga. Kay banata po si Miss Irene Tusok, our admin officer. And sa tuya sa mga technical side, si Director RJ Rebidorial, si Sir Enzo Sena, and si Miss Tin Dilara. Sa parang po ni Sir Mario Villanueva, pero may ko po sinasabi sa Radyo Asin Television. Ano man ang oras sa sing pagkakataon, serbisyo publikong maasahan. Ako po ang sa inyong amigo sa inyong parabarita. Action agad. Adoning Saglar Jr., Marinaldo Bicolandia, salamat po sa inyong pagantabay.